Good morning, dear children. Welcome to the online class for English 2. I take this opportunity to wish you all a very happy New Year. Yes, I hope you have enjoyed the New Year celebrations. Yes, and uh, let's pray to God for the uh, upliftment, betterment of everyone. Okay, for everyone, for the whole nation, for the whole world. In this coming new year 2021, may we all uh, get what we have wished for. May we all uh, get success in whatever we do. Okay, so let us move ahead with a good spirit and step forward in 2021. Now children, today I will start with you a new lesson number 14. Do not be afraid of the dark. Yes, I know that you people have submitted your uh, text English text copies. Yes, the notebooks. You have written the first 7 question answers, and the rest part, the left part of the question answer and the exercises I will provide you in the next class. Till then you will be getting back your copies also. By the time you will get back your copies, and then you can write the left over question answers and other things in your English 2 copy. Okay, so for today we will do this new lesson, that is a poem, and for this you will have to take your books with you. Yes, open page number 99. Open page number 99 and you will see there a poem with a heading, Do Not Be Afraid of the Dark. So uh, it's a natural thing. When we are in dark, we are afraid. We are afraid of the dark. Okay, we don't go in a dark room. It's human psychology. Okay, we have learned this from our childhood, that we are afraid of dark, maybe because our upbringing maybe is like that, and we are told that we should not go in the dark, maybe because our parents don't want us to get hurt. Okay, if we go in the dark, what will happen? We will bang ourselves into the furniture, maybe the table, maybe the chair or the bed, and what will happen? We will hurt ourselves. But when we were very small, our parents told these things in very different way, so we have uh, our mind setup has become like that we are afraid of going into the dark. Okay, now in this poem the poet is asking that we should not be afraid of the dark. Okay, we are not getting afraid of the dark is not a bad thing, but not a good thing also. Okay, so the poet is asking us not to be afraid of the dark. Now, before starting this, let us read about the poet who has written this poem. Okay, the poem is written by one of my favorite poets and writer who is living here in India. Okay, in uh, Mussoorie. Okay, in Uttarakhand. And do you want to know the name? And he is Ruskin Bond. Yes, Ruskin Bond. He is one of my favorite poets and writers. Now, Ruskin Bond is an Indian author, but of British descent. Now, British descent means his parents, both mother and father, they were from England. But during the British rule, they had settled in India, and Ruskin Bond was born here. So he is of British descent, but he is an Indian by birth. Okay, now he was born in 1934. 1934. Okay, now he is an Indian author of British descent. He has written over 500 short stories, essays, and novels. Most of his works are influenced by life in the hill stations at the foothills of Himalayas, where he spent his childhood. Okay, so he used to reside uh, in the hill stations where he used to stay during his childhood, and all his stories and novels and poems are inspired by the hills. Okay, now his first novel, The Room on the Roof, was written when he was 17 and published when he was 21. So he started writing very early, at the age of 17. His popular novel, The Blue Umbrella, was made into a Hindi film of the same name, which was awarded the National Film Award for Best Children's Film in 2007. So you can ask your parents to show you this movie, The Blue Umbrella. It's a movie for children, and it has won the award of Best Children's Movie Film. Okay. This was a novel he had written, and this novel was turned into a movie. He was awarded the Sahitya Akademi Award in 1992 for Our Trees Still Grow in Dehra. So he has written one book, Our Trees Still Grow in Dehra, has won the Sahitya Akademi Award. Okay, this is an English novel, his English novel. He was awarded the Padma Shri, okay, in 1999, and the Padma Bhushan in 2014. He now lives in his adopted family in Landor, Mussoorie. Okay, so he is residing in India. He lives in India, and if you ever get a chance to visit Dehradun and Mussoorie, maybe you can get a chance to see him also. Okay, so uh, this was a short introduction about the poet. Now let us recite the poem. Don't be afraid of the dark, little one. The earth must rest when the day is done. The sun must be harsh, but moonlight never, and those stars will be shining forever and ever. Be friends with the night, there is nothing to fear. Just let your thoughts travel to friends far and near. By day, it does seem that our troubles won't cease, but at night, late at night, the world is at peace. Now, when I was reading this poem, a small thought came into my mind. Because I have the hobby. I am into reading. I read books. So, Ruskin Bond, I remember when I was in class 8 or 9th. One story, as you have this book, in our course book, there was one story written by Ruskin Bond. From then onwards, I started following the author. I started reading his stories, especially the short stories. Okay, and I came into reading. Reading became my, like, one of the habits. Okay, so I follow him. So one thought came into my mind. Here in Gorakhpur also, we have one small shop. Okay, and there you can go visit in that shop. You can become a member of the shop, and then you can uh, take the books, hire the books. You can hire the books, read it, and return it back. Okay, a small shop kind of thing. Same thing is there in the library, in our school library. You can visit the library, you can issue the book, read it, and return it. So this thing helps to inculcate the habit of reading. As I have told you many times before in my classes, that reading is one of the best habits you can inculcate. And reading will not only help you to increase your vocabulary, improve your language skills, but it will take you to the another level of the world. Okay, so all those who want to make reading a habit can start reading short stories of Ruskin Bond. He writes mainly for children. Okay, so okay, now I will explain first three lines of this poem today. Okay, first three lines. As you know, we have to write only the first 5 lines of the poem. Today I will explain the first 3 lines. Now the poet here is saying, don't be afraid of the dark, little one. Okay, usually what happens, small children are afraid of the dark. Not only small children, but we big ones, big elder people also. Like what happens, as soon as the day starts getting over, okay, what happens, we turn back to our homes, wherever we have gone, whatever work we are doing. What do? We return back to our homes. Why don't we stay out? Because we don't feel like staying out in the dark. We don't feel good staying back in the dark. So what do? We come into the comfort zone, we come into the coziness of our home. And this shows that during night some bad things are happening out, which are not good for us. Things which are not good for us happens in the dark. Now the poet here is saying that don't be afraid of the dark, little ones. Now poet is trying to convince, trying to make up our mind that we should not be afraid of the dark. Why? Because day and night both are created by God. Okay, both are created by God. And if God has created something, it is for the betterment of the human race. It is betterment for the world. It is when God has created something, it is for the betterment of the humankind. Okay, so the poet is saying that we should not be afraid of the dark. What happens when it is dark? The earth must rest when the day is done. So poet is saying that that the earth is taking rest when the day is over, when the day is finished. Now what happens during night? What do? We don't sit and do our work. We take rest. Okay, we take rest. Okay, so when God created the world, he created day and night, and he said that the part in which light is there will be called day, and in this time the creatures will work. Okay, the creatures, whatever God is making, he said that whatever I am making, they will work, they will find food and eat. Okay, they will work and eat. But the other part of the scene, that is when dark will be there, when sun will not be shining, that part they will take rest. The sun must be harsh, but moonlight never. Now here the poet is saying that during day the sun is very harsh. Okay, during summers you must have felt this, that sun is very harsh, it shines so brightly. We often find a shady place to stand. Now poet is saying that the sun must be harsh, but moonlight is never. Now the poet is telling us the good qualities of some good points about the dark part of the day, that is night. The sun is very harsh, but moonlight is very cool. Okay, have you ever experienced the full moon day? The full moon day, when full bright moon comes out and lights up the night, very cozy, it is very beautiful, it looks. So the poet is telling that moonlight is never harsh, it's cool. And on the contrary, on the opposite side, the sun is very harsh. Okay, so uh, and then next line says, and those stars will be shining forever and ever. So I will ask you, what do you want to do during night? What do? You take rest, you wind up your day, okay? You sum up your day, you make a plan for the next, you plan for the next day, then you have your food and then you take rest. You go back to your beds and you sleep. While the body is sleeping, our body is resting. Our body is whatever we have done in the day, whatever energy we have used, the body is regaining the energy again when we are sleeping. So here the poet wants to tell us that we should not be afraid of the dark, because this part of the day is also created by God, and it is for the betterment and for the goodness of humankind. So I hope children you have liked this poem. First 3 lines I have explained. In the next class we will complete the whole poem. Okay, so I will take your leave. Take care of yourself. Follow all the protocols given by the Government of India and WHO to avoid being affected by COVID-19, and take care of yourself. God bless you.